What's up guys, Skillionaire here, and I'm going to show you a 1v1 that I played in just earlier. It was good fun, and I think you might enjoy it too. It's a very quick one. We have a player here called Vincent in the red, and in the yellow we have myself. I'm going to show you the map now. Take a look at this. There you go. We got this strip of land, mano a mano. Of course there's some other islands, and maybe we'll expand to it, you'll see. But it's a very fun one with one metal in the middle. Have a look. There's no metal on this whole spawn island. Now, of course, there is this, but bear in mind, we can't see this. You know, like even after I explore it, let's see if this guy. Yeah, like you know, you can't. You don't know it's there, right? That's the irony of it, or maybe that's not the right word, but that's the tragedy of it. You know, it was so close, and yet we had no idea. So, how does the game go down? My opponent here is building warehouses because he's noticed a fish, as have I. I've already farmed one collection of fish here. My guys have moved over to the next one. I'm building a warehouse here because there's fish there as well, and there's fish there. And at this point, I'm pretty sure, in fact, let's show you my resources here. I'm pretty sure that this is, I can see right there, I've seen the shape of this island. I know that this is going to be a Stone Age thing. So I'm like, right, let's deal with this. So I start putting up the fight pits, but I can see resources are very sparse. So I want to hit Metal Ages so I can fund my Stone Age troops with them. At least that's the initial plan, right? My opponent is very likely scouting the same thing. He's about to find out that, yeah, it's a similar situation if he hasn't already. So he's got one fight pit out and he's just pumping out warriors. Now he's trying to get warriors out as fast as possible. Maybe that's a good strategy. Maybe I was a bit too slow. I was playing it a little overly cautious, trying not to get eaten by this tiger here. And I'm just sort of really trying to hit that Metal Ages before I start committing to troop production. But overall, I'd say I'm going a bit slow, because compared to my opponent, who's already got slingers and warriors up, how's the stonecutter going? No research. I invested in the research. I'm starting to sort of do that first. Okay, I'll work at eating here. But she started getting bitten, and I actually moved her away on purpose to get the tiger away from this small fish deposit here, and then I came and I built the warehouse. So even though it was an accident to trigger the tiger, it was intentional to pull the tiger away, because if the tiger gets the kill, it stays on the body. So now that it's over here, it means I can farm over here. Also, I never noticed that this is a saber-toothed tiger. Did anyone else know that? Anyway, he's coming in now. I'm using my scout to try and lure him away from my base. Can you see? Because I know I need more time. Hey, I bought myself an extra 1 or 2 seconds. I mean, you know, that could be a big difference. But this damn tiger's in the way, so I realize I'm going to have to go for this. He sort of backs up a little bit. I'm not sure. Ah, yes, he goes for the siege. Even though if you rushed me, I actually think he could have been quite successful. But I've got a bunch of macemen out. Thing is, he's got the slingers, which counter the macemen. I wanted slingers too, but I just don't have enough time to get them at the moment. So I build my food production here to make sure I never run out. And yeah, you'll see how this goes now. I'm getting kited a little bit. I'm like, oh, I don't want to commit. But he sort of runs off. He's like, okay, you know what? Let me build heavily in the middle here. I'm not sure exactly whether that was necessary, to be honest. But hey, he's got himself a lot of land. And it's not just low metal. I don't know if you noticed, but there is almost no trees on this little spawn island. We've got this stone. It's one of the reasons why I built an extra warehouse here, because I knew I was going to rely on this stone. I'm going to need to basically, this map, I'm just all stone and very little wood. This opponent, my opponent here, he's gone for the metal. Smart play. Smart play. It's the only one. It means he can get the upgrades on his units. I cannot get the upgrades on mine. I try to push forward a little bit because I'm like, oh, I have to clear this out. I have to do something about this. It's just too much. He's even repairing the bulwarks here. Always use your workers to repair. It's so annoying when it happens, but there's a reason why it's annoying. Like, it's just, repair speeds are just really good. So utilize that, make it much harder for your opponent to destroy your hard work in building these buildings. He comes forward, I do a little dancing there and sort of manage to dodge and get a few kills back, but all in all, I'm definitely behind. He has more of the map. And I'm like, okay, how do I come back from this? I can't do the metal tip upgrades. His spearman will probably end up having that. And I'm like, right, what's the plan? What's the plan? I actually shift away from macemen, even though I did the research for him. Because I'm like, I'm not sure that's the play here. I'm not sure that's the play. I'm going to go on the defensive with slingers. The last macemen I had all just got annihilated. I'm going to push forward with towers instead, just to kind of hold him off as well. Now that I'm Metal Aegis, it's easier for me to do. Yeah, I'll go in again. So I'm like, you know what? I noticed he hasn't upgraded this to a Guardian Tower. I'm like, okay, it's just one Bulwark now. I can do this. Maybe I can take his guys off the metal. That's really kind of what one of the reasons I push forward to do this. Bear in mind, I can't actually see what's going on here. So I don't actually really know how many more dudes there are. Clearly there aren't many. But I'm a bit afraid. So I'm sort of dancing around a little bit. He runs off with the workers. Always move the workers when they're getting hit. Slinger's accuracy is absolutely terrible. And now I have a plan. So I build my piers, because I'm like, okay, eventually I'm going to run out of wood. I'm not going to be able to afford the poultry, the domestic fowl, in order to keep getting food, which means I can't keep making troops, and then I'm absolutely screwed. So I need the fish, which is free food, to fund myself. My opponent has not quite, he has worked out the same thing as well perhaps, and he's just started to build his pier now, but he's a lot more top heavy. He's invested so much here in the siege that ultimately he's not doing that much with. I mean, he's got all these troops. He could just run past these towers, but then again he'd have to fight my slingers, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether exactly if that was the best play, but I mean, what's the point in having all these dudes if you're not going to do anything with them, right? It's my philosophy. Don't know. He's upgrading his houses now to give himself, he's kind of sorting out his upgrades. There's a little bit of a calm now that all of the action has sort of slowed, and gives me time to do my research as I realise that I'm sort of pop cap limited, which is why I can't get any fishing ships out. And as you can see, I've got 4 hand rams ready. I'm thinking I am behind. I need to do something here to try and bring the game back. Because if I let this guy keep taking this metal, eventually, you know, he's going to come at me with the upgrades. I'm going to be screwed. But it's not just that too, right? My opponent here has already migrated out. He's done that. I should have done that sooner if I could have. Probably the reason I built mine for fish, he built his for expansion. He's found metal here, so he's actually fine even if he does lose that middle one. He's in a really strong position comparatively to me. I am planning to do this, but I am not there yet. You see, I've put 2 workers in this. I'm like, 2 workers isn't enough, let's put 2 more in. Okay, now I'm going to send them out. And as you can see, I have no idea which direction. Like, I'm going up because I'm hoping there's an island like here. Turns out, it's so much further away. And the metal that I'm looking for isn't even on the shore. It's all much further back, so it's harder to find, you know? Again, the tragedy that it was here all along. My opponent found it and I did not. So, sorry, I missed a little action here. In fact, let me just rewind that because we've been waiting for action for a little while. And I'll speed it up so it goes faster, yeah? So, as I mentioned earlier, action replay, these lot go sail off. But what happens is he pushes, and I'm like, okay, I've got to stop this. I do send the workers to repair a little bit, and then I'm like, screw it. I might as well try and defend with them as well. And then sort of pull them back. But what I'm really trying to do, honestly, is I'm sort of trying to keep him distracted in the middle, so that he doesn't catch my assault, which is currently taking place over here. So let me slow it back down to 1.5 earlier. I'll make it ×2 speed. I want to keep his attention here. Looking clearly when he's looking here, and there we go. I dropped the hand rams off. I'm like, shall I invest fully in the temple? And I'm like, no, because he's got dudes to repair it. I know, I'll take out some of the houses. And then I'm like, wait a minute, he's not doing anything. There we go. GG.